Italian word of the day for today, Friday, 25 October 2024 is Fisica, which translates to English as physics. And as I go through kind of describing what physics is and providing an example of a physics textbook, I'm going to have a Nissin cup of noodles, chicken flavor. It's all nice and plumped up. And it's, while there might be physics that goes into the making of this cup of noodles, there's also chemistry. Work of physical matter, however, might fall into the discipline of chemistry more specifically. All right, so physics is an area of science. It's been around. It's concerned with nature and how nature works, essentially, and it's kind of about making observations and then trying to find patterns from those observations. And it can be experimental, it can be theoretical, there can be an emphasis on like empirical kind of work, diversity of approaches to physics. But you can kind of think of, it might be chemistry that cooks this cup of noodles, but it's physics that brings the noodles out of the cup and into my mouth. So I'd say one way to think of it is how the mechanics of matter, or it can, depending on what scale one's looking at, can be chemistry driven, but it can also be very mechanical. Like there's statics and dynamics, and that can tend to be, depending on the system one's working on, again, and the scale, physical in nature. And I actually found that learning physics and kind of the like classical mechanics, kind of just inanimate matter, kind of on like a human, just basic everyday kind of interaction, in that kind of a space, I found that actually my engineering statics class was very helpful. So sometimes physics can be learned via physics, however, sometimes, at least in my experience, sometimes physics, once I have experience in something else or I learn in a different area, the physics is much more straightforward. An example of a physics textbook I have had is university physics. It's hefty. It's over 1,500 pages. There's some daunting element there in terms of, like, when I took physics in college, I hadn't taken it in high school, so it was a little bit different, because I think it was like 2/3 of the class who were taking the class in college had taken physics in high school, and I ended up majoring in geology and geophysics. So for my undergrad, my Bachelor of Science with a minor in mathematics. So I was by no means the norm. Right? The norm is kind of physics in high school, physics in college, physics degree. At least that I've encountered in the United States of America. So it's a very stigmatizing to some people discipline, though all sciences are. I would say science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are a bit, especially to people who aren't in them, or resent that they had to take a science class, or resent that they had to take biology, or resent that they had to take physics, or resent that they had to take mathematics. Those people later in life can come around and kind of take their anger and frustration out on those of us who do it or stuck with it or like it or enjoy it. It's kind of a interesting dynamic to develop because a lot of us really like what we do, but it might not be true for the person who didn't do so well or has pent up anger and frustration. All right, so then we won't attack what they like, but they attack what we like. So it results in kind of a very compact community, in part because of the negativity outside of the community towards those of us in the community and what we do and that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit on the like dynamic. As with all communities, there's a bit of infighting and like self-classification, you know, conversations all the time and that kind of stuff. So finding the right place if one wants to pursue, say, a PhD in physics, if that's something I do at some point in my life, or something I do based on kind of like what I've been talking about on this channel, Tanis Leonhardi, YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, at least currently. Then hoping that I took the right amount of time and thought about the right things and choose the right place and advisor and stuff like that. So there we go. In English as physics, in Italiano as Fisica. Italiano word of the day for today, Friday, 25 October 2024.